Hi, my name is Audrey and I like to buy books for a living. Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse, and welcome to part 5 of the Project Unhaul. So if you have watched the series so far, thank you very much. If you haven't and you're interested, I will link it down below. But long story short, I am working my way through all of my bookshelves on a mission to unhaul at least 40 books, because I started this project so I could make room for all of the books I hauled over the summer. We are 4 shelves in, 4 shelves done. I have unhauled 23 books so far, but regardless of if and when I hit 40, it's a when, not an if, I'm going to keep going until I have gone through all of my shelves in an attempt to clear out books I either read and didn't enjoy, don't plan to read again, maybe I've had it for a really long time, maybe my interests have changed, whatever it is. I am working my way through my shelves to make room for, not to buy new books, but to make room for the books that I've already purchased. So without further ado, we are going to jump in. Shelf number 5, I just kicked my stool next to me. And basically, yes, I want to keep it. No, I don't. And then there's some room for some research and we take it from there. So let's get in. I'm not going to talk about what every book is about because I could, but we'd be here forever. So we're just going to jump on in. We're just going to jump on in. I feel like we're very close tonight. Okay. First up, 2 books I have not read yet. This is basically a shelf of books that I haven't read yet. That's kind of, anyway, it's fine. So Magpie by Elizabeth Day. Jordy from Jordy's Book Club absolutely talked about this, I want to say 2 years ago. And basically, he says jump, I ask how high, and I purchased this and haven't read it yet. 2021, no judgment. I think I bought it maybe in 2023. And I'm trying to think what book he was talking. I feel like somebody was talking about, he does like Sunday stories. Not going to talk about everything. Here I am talking about everything. And somebody was not loving The Handmaid. No. Housemaid. The way I say that 10 times wrong. So he had recommended picking this one up, which kind of piqued my interest because, not going to lie, I'm not totally sure what it's about. And there we go. Oh no. Not disrespecting the books. Okay, and then Gillian McAllister, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I have 2 of her books and I haven't read either one of them, but I would very much like to. I bought this at Book Depository. It's fine. There's a lot of that going around. Nice inside cover though. Hi, my name is Audrey and I like to buy books for a living. Ooh, I just saw in here it says late October after midnight. Should I read this in October just because? I think maybe. Also, if you're new here, there's books stacked behind books, so don't think we're going to be here for a minute. We're going to be here for 2. All right, Ashley Flowers, The Missing Half. This is her newest book. I actually started reading this. I think I read 1 or 2 chapters, and then my brain short-circuited, and I needed to read something else. So I am going to come back to this. I loved her first book. All good people here. I'm like, I loved your first book. What the heck is it called? So I'm excited to read this one. Run Unread by Nicole W. Illy. She was at Thriller Fest. I purchased this. I feel like this is a Guaranteed Reads book recommendation. She was on the panel that Hannah Morrissey did. Love her. So I'm excited to read this. I've had this for a minute. Absolutely have a few of Noelle's. Did I call her Nicole? A few of Noelle's books. So stick around. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Just correct me every time I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm on a journey, friends. I'm on a bit of a journey. Don't ask me who said this was life-changing. And I was like, done. Bought it, put it on the shelf. To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. 25th anniversary edition. Has anybody read it? Okay, John Marrs, Keep It in the Family. There's a whole bunch of John Marrs books coming. A lot of them are on that bottom shelf down there, which we'll eventually get to. I really like him. I need to read more of him. I don't know if it's this one. I feel like maybe it's this one that people say is the darkest. We'll find out. Absolutely keeping that. Nothing Without Me by Helen Munks-Takar. Haven't read this yet. And I will. We have, this is like a Hollywood, and then somebody's found dead floating in the pool. Yes and please. And then My Darkest Prayer by S.A. Cosby. This is his first book. I haven't read this one yet, My God, he looks so different on the back of this one. But I really enjoy him as an author. I met him at Thriller Fest 2 years ago, and, you know, really enjoy him. He's fantastic. There's definitely a little bit of a Thriller Fest vibe here. So Tell Me Who You Are by Louisa Luna. This was in my goodie bag at Thriller Fest last year. This is an arc of a book that came out last year, and I'm excited to read it. I have another one of her books too. Keeping that one. Bar None by Amy Impellizzeri. She was at Thriller Fest last year too, which is when I purchased this. I didn't realize at the time, this is actually the second book in a series. I have read book number 1. I would say like I liked it, but it was definitely like a smidge, not quite what I thought. I thought it was going to be like very kind of, I want to say like traditional legal thriller, but kind of traditional legal thriller, which I love. I mean, Kirkus gave it a great review. I feel ever so slightly on the fence. Let me see. I'm going to put this one aside to do some research. Also fairly certain my library has it, so we will check on that. Then I have Hatchet Girls. I'm going to say the only reason I bought this is the author is a BU graduate, and I got like my monthly BU magazine, and I always like to look at class notes, and I had seen that she was in it, and I was like, ooh, a dark kind of thriller from a BU grad? Yes, let's go. So this is What Have I Done? When Mary Ellen Morse accuses her boyfriend Vic of murdering her wealthy parents with an axe. The town is quick to believe her. It doesn't help that Vic was caught standing over her parents' bodies with blood in his hands and is now unable to remember anything about the night in question. So it has a Lizzie Borden vibe to it. This town is cursed, and so is she. Go be you. All right, and then I have The Search Party, which I've talked a good game about but haven't read yet. Isolated thriller, and then there were none. If you guys watch part 4, you know I love it. And then I have I Remember You by Ursa Surgadaughter. I bought this because of Abby from Crime by the Book. Like, do I have my own brain? I just am very influenced by other people when it comes to good books. This one's supposed to be pretty scary, so I haven't dove into it yet. I've had it for a minute. Maybe this is my year. Maybe this is my year. Terrifying tale, 3 friends, and they are renovating a rundown house. I feel like even Abby said this one was pretty creepy, which is saying a lot because she reads some pretty dark stuff. So keeping it, it's a ghost story. Stay tuned. Finally, a book I read. I Killed Zoe Spanos. I read this years ago. 100% bought it for the painted edges, and I was like, I don't even care what it's about. So it's a YA mystery thriller. I didn't find out until later that it was like inspired by Rebecca, and this was before I read Rebecca, so I definitely would like to go back and reread it. It's out on the Hamptons. I really enjoyed this book. There's a map, but I highly recommend. This one was fun. I'm like, do I do the front row or the back row? Which is going to be worse. Okay. The Guest House by Robin Morgan Bentley. Haven't read it. Keep your family safe, whatever the cost. Seems like a good spooky season. Stephanie Roble on the back, Catherine Faulkner, John Mars. How far would you go to protect the ones you love? I do love that. I do love that as a theme. Jamie and Victoria are off for a last quick vacation before the arrival of their first baby. Perfect retreat, miles away from the distractions of work and their regular life. Something's really gonna go bad. The doors are locked, their cell phones and car keys disappeared. Even though it's a few weeks before the baby's due date, Victoria feels the contractions starting, the baby is coming, and there's no way out. Robin, what are you writing about, man? He's gonna take us on a twisty ride. I'm gonna hold on to this one. I'm intrigued, and, you know, sounds deliciously dark and messed up, so here's hoping. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, a book I finally a book I've read. This is the UK edition of it. You guys know, I love him, I love him, I love him, and I had a great time with this book. I know some people are gonna disagree with me, and that's cool. You do you, I do me, but I thought this one was a whole lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how he played. I do just love him. I haven't read his new book yet, but I will. It's over here, if you were on shelf. Here for shelf 2. Okay, and then The Chateau by Jacqueline Goldis. I have not yet read this one, but I would very much like to. So this is like a reunion. People are called back. 20 years earlier, 4 girls studied abroad together in France, visited this old woman at her chateau, and now they are invited back and somebody dies. So, you know, it's amazing. Oof, I see a book hanging out in the second row. That's gonna haunt me. I'm also crushing something here. There's a book, if you guys have been around my channel from the beginning, you might see something familiar coming up. Okay, next up, 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. You guys, I'm reading this as we speak. I have talked about reading this book forever. I'm probably a third of the way in. I'm loving it. If all I had to do, or all I could do, was read all day, I would be done with it by now. It is so bingey, but unfortunately, my job wouldn't really look favorably upon that. But reading it, loving it. Hello Transcriber by Hannah Morrissey. You guys know how much I love this book. I got to meet Hannah at Thriller Fest this year. She is amazing and I love her to pieces. I have read all of her books twice and I will rave about her till the cows come home. So, PSA, if you're not reading her, what are you doing? What are you doing? Remember that from the first one? Okay. And In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. The first Ruth Ware book I read. And I was going to say I've read her books in order, but that's a lie. But I read this and read them in order up until whatever came before 0 days. And then I skipped 0 days and then I'm going to go back. But I loved this. This remains my favorite Ruth Ware book. She took me on a journey and I loved everything about it. I fell in love with her when I read this book. Dark, messed up female friendship. Bachelorette party gone so very wrong. It's brilliant. And then Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. This was another Geordie book. Haven't read it yet. I believe, I want to say Meryl Streep does the audiobook, which apparently is fantastic. I don't know why I thought this was my wheelhouse, but I feel like it might be. I feel like it might be. It's the spring of 2020. Lara's 3 daughters return, I can't not. Return to the family's orchard in northern, blah, blah, blah. Lara's 3 daughters return to the family orchard in northern Michigan. And while picking cherries, they beg their mother to tell them the story of Peter Duke, a famous actor with whom she shared both stage and romance before at a theater company called Tom Lake. So Lara recalls her past and her daughters examine their own lives. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm gonna hold on to it. I probably will, full transparency, get the audiobook from the library and then we'll see what happens from there. So we've got that. I'm like staring into the camera like Cindy Brady. All right, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Dead Letters, Kate Dillon Leach. I have had this book since it came out. Remember seeing it on the front table at Barnes & Noble when my Barnes & Noble opened and buying it because it sounded amazing, and I have never read this book. It has survived every Unhaul. It's from 2017. I have yet to read it, but I feel like I want to read it. I don't want to let it go. This is one of the books, I talked about this in one of the previous Unhauls, where I am afraid, irrational fears, afraid of unhauling a book only to later read it and find out it was a favorite. I think I had built this one up a lot in my head. This is 2 sisters. Ava has her reasons for running away, a failing family vineyard, a romantic betrayal, a mercurial sister, an absent father, a mother slipping into dementia. And she eventually comes home when she finds out her twin sister Zelda is dead. So weird stuff starts happening. I feel like I need to look this one up again. I feel like in the right mood, this could be amazing for me. Has anybody read this book? I can't let it go. It's irrational. I don't know what to say. It just seems like I'm going to love it, but I feel like I have built it up so much. I'm going to look it up again just to do the do. I'm not going to get rid of it. I don't know why. I can't explain it. This is rough. Okay, Charlie Donnelly, if you were here for shelf number 4. Here's more Charlie. Don't Believe It. I don't know how I haven't read him yet. I feel like I've said that before. This is the one... No. This is a different one. This is Girl of Sugar Beach is the most watched documentary in television history. A true life mystery that unfolds over 12 weeks and centers on a fascinating question. Did Grace Siebold murder her boyfriend Julian while on a spring break vacation? Or is she the victim of circumstance and poor police work? And she has spent the last 10 years in a St. Lucian prison, and a filmmaker is going to help her maybe prove her innocence. I've heard great things about him. I feel like this one should move further up the list. I think this is the one I was thinking about when I was like, there's like a podcast, but maybe he also has a podcast one. I don't know. It's a gorgeous cover too. And then The Fixer by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So if you guys watched my September new release video, they repackaged The Fixer, and it's going to be on a different shelf. These two books, which are like an Olivia Pope Scandal kind of a vibe, and I had purchased the original versions of them back after I read the Inheritance Games, and I was going to read all of her books. Haven't read it yet, but I'm going to keep them because I feel like they could be fun. And they're the originals. It's fine. Okay, what I also did was buy every Kate Alice Marshall book after I read one of her books and decided I was going to read everything, and I never read any of it. So these are two of her YA books, Our Last Echoes and These Fleeting Shadows. I don't think they're connected. This one says all stories turn into ghost stories if you wait long enough. Dun dun dun. And this one says I promise to tell the truth, but first I have to lie. Dun dun dun. I do feel like one of these maybe connects to The Vanishing Half. Not The Vanishing Half. That's Britt Bennett. The Vanishing something? Is it just The Vanishing? She wrote that Rules for Vanishing. Okay, which I have somewhere as well. That was creepy. That I loved way more than I thought I was going to. Just like my expectations were just sort of like, we'll see. Really loved it. Definitely creeped me out. This one has some mixed media in it. I do feel like one of these books maybe connects to that in some way. In a like, you don't have to read Rules of Vanishing, but if you did, maybe something would stand out to you. Of course, I read Rules for Vanishing probably 5 years ago, so the odds of me remembering anything are slim to none. But anyway, we're going to keep these. Maybe I can binge some YA during spooky season. Okay, and then we have Tell the Wolves I'm Home by Carol Rifka Brunt. I have not read this yet. I have had this book forever. I feel like I've told this story 1,000 times over. So I grew up with her. She was older than me. I was friends with her younger sister. And when I had seen this in the bookstore, I hadn't known that she wrote a book, and I picked it up and have not yet read it. This came out in 2012. I read it. I don't think I bought it in 2012. I don't know. Maybe I even did. Who knows? But anyway, someday. And then Allison Galen, Never Look Back. I got this, I feel like maybe at my first or second Thriller Fest. It's an ARC. I loved this book. And I think she's fantastic. I don't think people talk about her enough. And I thought this one was just amazing. 2019, second Thriller Fest. And I loved it so much. So highly recommend. Super dark and messed up. Like in all the best ways possible. Multiple timelines, like multiple POVs. Amazing. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Second Helping is by Megan McCaffrey. This is in the Sloppy First series. I'm going to keep this entire series. I talked about it when I came across Sloppy First in one of the other videos. I don't know if I will ever reread these because I feel like it might not be the same experience, but we'll see. I don't know. I just loved it so much. Like super dog-eared, super relatable. I don't know. Suburban growing up, all the things. And then The Ice Twins by S.K. Tremaine. This was definitely a thrifted purchase. I can tell just by looking at it. And there's a giant thrift books on the back of it. Don't be like impressed or anything that I could tell. I am low-key on the fence. It says it's a terrifying psychological thriller with a twisty plot worthy of Gillian Flynn. This is the era of Everything is the Next Gillian. There's like randomly some photos in here. I don't know. When did this come out? 2015, right after Gone Girl. Or that was actually 2012, so scratch that. I'm going to look this one up. I don't know. I don't even know what it's about. One of her twins died. She's not sure which one. That might be too much. Okay. Then I have The Good House by Tenerife. I feel like I'm definitely saying that wrong. I don't remember where I saw this. Had to have it. Haven't read it yet. This is a haunted house and then some. An unexpected tragedy takes place behind its closed doors, and the Toussaint's family history and future is dramatically transformed. Definitely a ghost story. Powers, curses. Oof, that print is tiny. That is some small print. I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Precarious pile. And then Hannibal by Thomas Harris. Have I read Silence of the Lambs? No. Have I read this? No. But there's a version of Audrey who is going to read these books. So this is after Silence of the Lambs. This is 7 years later. I don't know where I got this. This had to be a thrifted purchase. I did not purchase this at a bookstore. But I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this is in like really, really, really great condition. So for that reason alone, I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Beautiful end papers. But Silence of the Lambs is here somewhere. And someday. All right, I'm just gonna put this backwards just so you guys know I've looked at it. We're not playing games. I see my friend Ragnar Jonasson here, the girl who died. I have not yet read this. I just finished reading, not just, but I read The Mysterious Case of the Missing Crime Writer, which put me in a bit of a Ragnar mode. This is a standalone. A teacher wanted at the edge of the world. It says, welcome to Scalar, population 10 and falling. Not a place I want to go to. So she's worried she's losing her mind. And then before midwinter, a young girl from the village is found dead. And yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that's happening. This is from 2023. I have multiple books of his that I have not read yet, and you're gonna get to see them over the course of this unhaul. Not unhauling that one. And then I have Say You're Sorry by Karen Rose. This is such a chunker. This is one of those books that I feel like everybody was talking about at one point. Had to have it, haven't read it yet. There's dust flying off it as I flip the pages. I still want to give this one a chance. A serial killer is on the loose. We'll see. We'll see. I really need a win here, you guys. I need a win and we're not going to find it on the shelf. All right. Ruth Rendell, A Judgment in Stone. Did Alex Michaelides talk about reading this book? And I was like, yep, sure, totally. Absolutely. Haven't read it yet. A modern day St. Valentine's Day massacre. Keeping it for now. Oof. I'm sorry, Ruth. Okay. It's a Date Again by Geneva Rose. If you guys watch Shelf 4, I talked about how I just gobbled up all of her books, or bought them all so I could gobble them up. Haven't read it yet. This came out a couple years ago, I want to say. I don't know. I just enjoy her. I think she's great fun. This is not me cheating. I'm just going to put it on the top shelf to keep her books together. It's not a cheat. Okay, and then Big Woods by May Cobb. This is like a funny pot. Like, I searched far and wide for this. This is her first book. I don't even know if you can get this anymore. I paid a pretty penny for this because I wanted it physically. I have issues. And I'm excited to read all of hers. So I do have the arc of her new book. I am currently halfway through The Hunting Wives, which I'm having great fun with. So I'm in a bit of a May mood. And keeping that, I similarly paid a pretty penny for Megan Golden's first book. This is The Girl in Keller's Way. It says, who do you trust when you can't trust yourself? I very much enjoy Megan Golden. We're going to get to another one of her books in a minute. And this is... Most murders are committed by someone known to the victim. More often than not, it's the immediate relative, a husband or a wife. A heart-stopping novel of deception and delusion. A body is found buried near a desolate forest road of Keller's Way. It's a detective story. She just gets all sorts of dark and messed up, which I very much enjoy, and I'm looking forward to reading this. Yay, fun. Okay, and then I have The Familiar Dark by Amy Engel. Haven't read it yet. Also has a beautiful cover to it. This is very tiny too. Like, what am I waiting for? And this is Sometimes the Answers Are Worse Than the Questions. Eve is no stranger to darkness. Her whole life is a lesson in survival. And her 12-year-old daughter is murdered brutally. They're in the Ozarks, and Eve knows she can't rely on anyone but herself to find out the truth and seek justice for the only person who ever brought light to her life. This is already depressing. So, a mother's search for answers. How short is this? This is like super short. 233. It's like practically a novella. Practically a novella. What am I doing? Oh my God. You guys, this is not ending well. Okay, Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman. Haven't read it yet. Have a few of her books. We Know You Remember by Tove Alsterdal. Haven't read it yet. The case has been closed. The records are sealed. Everyone knows whose boy it was. Are we in Iceland? Where are we? International thriller. A missing girl, a hidden body, a decades-long cover-up. All the things I love. I feel like we're in Iceland. Relentlessly suspenseful. We'll find out when I read it. And then A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreet. Haven't read it yet. I've read a few of her books. I do enjoy her. I feel like I'm always like saying the name of this book, and I never mean that book. I mean something else. But want to keep them. I haven't read any of these. Okay, they're like stuck together forever. The Turnout by Megan Abbott. This definitely did not get universal good reviews, but I loved Dare Me. I like her dark and messed upness. I think this is like a real dark and messed up sisters story. It's a ballerina story, and it's like two sisters and one of their husbands, and I think it gets real messed up. It was the three of them, always the three of them until it wasn't. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anatomy of a Scandal. So I just got Netflix so I could watch The Hunting Wives, and there is an adaptation of this. I would like to watch it. Do I need to read it before I watch it? I don't know, but I remember hearing great things about this. There's like a trial and everything. I feel like this is one of those books I'm going to want to read someday. I'm not ready to let it go. Maybe I should look it up. And then I Know Who You Are. I've wanted to read this for a while. There's a podcast element to it. Why am I falling over standing on flat ground? And yeah, 2 shocking murder cases 20 years apart. Oh, a filmmaker has been haunted by the death of his childhood friends. Kind of reminds me of In the Woods by Tana French. And searching for answers. And then a long dead body is found in the same location where the boys were found decades before. I feel like this has a podcast in it. Am I making that up? I don't think I am. I don't know. I just remember hearing great things about this, and I don't know why I've never read it. Yes, creating a fictional podcast. I'm going to keep this. I love a book with a podcast in it. I'm getting into like some old books here, guys. All right. Then I have The Kind to Kill by Tessa Wiegert. Is this the one I bought myself, or is this the marked up version? No. So I did a book charity, and I wound up getting an annotated copy of this that Tessa did. I had already owned this copy of it. So part of me is like, do I sell this one, which I've never read? I read the annotated copy, or do I hold on? Shut me off because I talk too much. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Do I keep the clean version, or do I donate/sell this one? What do you guys think? I'm going to put this on the side. I kind of feel like I can let it go. The annotated one is far more special. I'm never going to get rid of that one. TBD. And then we've got 2 more. I have Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kaysen. I have read this book so many times. Sometimes you just read a book at a certain time and it just strikes a chord and stays with you. This is the book that the movie was based on, but I remember reading this and just feeling like a weird connection to this book, even though my life was nothing like Susanna's was. But I really loved this book. I've read it a bunch of times. There's like her doctor's admission paperwork is in here. All of her stuff from McLean. You guys know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Went to school in Boston, lived in Boston, Boston adjacent. pages are dog-eared, things are underlined. There's just something about, I don't know, people thinking that you are crazy and you're not. Maybe we all are a little bit. I don't know. Because it's probably still crazy for insisting on being a writer. It's one of the reasons I became a writer, to be able to smoke in peace. Was I crazy or was I right? There's so much stuff about being crazy, being called crazy. I don't know. I just loved this book so much. So sentimental feelings about this one, keeping it. And then last but not least, The Escape Room by Megan Goldman. This was the first of her books that I read and I absolutely loved it. Dark and Messed Up People Doing Dark and Messed Up Things. I feel like this is one of the books that helped me coin that. And I just thought it was absolutely amazing. I just couldn't have loved it more. So dual timelines, multiple POVs, a group of really dark and messed up Wall Streeters wound up getting lured to what they believe is an escape room, but it is actually a lethal game of revenge when they are all trapped in an elevator together in a warehouse like construction zone. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I recommend it a ton. Recommend it a ton. This was not a very successful shelf. All right, let's count. Let's count my chickens. Okay, took a minute to do some research and watch Pete Alonso hit a home run. Okay, I am going to keep these. So Bar None actually got like some amazing reviews online, so I'm gonna keep this one. Kimberly McCreet, this is supposed to be like legal meets domestic suspense, which I do love. I'm gonna keep the Turnout. I just loved Dare Me so much. I feel like I need to read more Megan Abbott and give it a go. And then I'm keeping Dead Letters because I'm me. So let me put these babies back on the shelf. This shelf looks less bad than the other ones in terms of like organization. And then I am going to let go of the Ice Twins, which probably isn't surprising. This was not like a huge let go. I'm gonna let go of The Good House. This is horror, and which is not totally why I'm getting rid of it, but I'm not gonna lie, you guys, the print on this is so small. I really feel like I'm not gonna have like an enjoyable physical reading of this book experience, like just literally the book. So my library does have it, which, you know, when I get there, I get there, but I'm gonna let that go. And then I am gonna let go of the Tessa book, I think, because I already have another, like I said, I already have I have an annotated copy of it from Tessa herself. So I'm gonna let this one go and let somebody else enjoy it. So it is book 4 in the series, but you know, police detective, serial killer, all that fun stuff. So 3 books, not my best to date, but that puts us at 26 to date, which is very good. So I'm actually not going to, that's a lie. I might drop 1 book up here. Let me see what books I have that need a home right now. Hold on. So what I don't want to do is take books that I haven't read yet and like shove them in the back and then have them out of sight. So I'm just going to put the cliffhanger here for now, which I haven't read yet. And then I did tuck my Peter Swanson cover for 8 Perfect Murders here. And then technically I've like got room for 2 more, but maybe like at the end of this, I'll like rejigger a bit, but for now I just want to leave it the way it is. But did get rid of 3 books from the shelf, which is great. 3 is 3. So fair is fair. I'm gonna call it a night. But thank you guys so much for watching, and come back for shelf number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we will see where we're at the end of the physical bookshelf and then keep on trucking. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys are having fun with the series. I appreciate the encouragement to go through this and to keep unhauling books. And I think, again, I think I'll get more ruthless maybe on a second pass. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, we're in good shape. And that's good enough for me. So until next time, take care, everybody. And I will see you the next time. Bye, everybody.